So you don't need to know how Bitcoin mining works or why in order to use Bitcoin.
In today's culture, one of the biggest fads and the most known things in the world is this thing called Bitcoin. Now, a lot of people don't even know what Bitcoin is, and it is this extremely complicated piece of technology which doubles as money, but it's really not all that complicated. It is merely just another form of currency which you can use to buy, sell, whatever else you can do with money is you can do it with Bitcoin. It's just more technologically based, and more people don't know what it is because they're so used to using the flow of cash. However, times are changing and people are starting to become dependent upon Bitcoin. So it's something to keep an eye on and look and manage and figure out what it is.
And the reason for that is because the effort to execute a 51% attack is far, far greater than the actual benefit of doing it.
Because it will be the future and it is coming, there's no doubt about it. You have heard people invested in Bitcoin, but you're starting now to hear people using Bitcoin in places allowing Bitcoin to be used for purchases. And that is a huge change to just culture in general because we're so used to using whatever the currency is of that country and buying and selling goods and services with that currency. However, now Bitcoin is this globalized, unified currency which you can use via the internet and pay for things and buy things and sell things, whatever the case may be, all without having to have any physical bills in hand and not even having to do it yourself. You can set your computer to buy and sell Bitcoin for you so that you can buy other stuff.
Bitcoin and the digital currency revolution it has started is best demonstrated and experienced than explained. It's actually very difficult to explain Bitcoin. I've spent the last 5 years learning how to explain Bitcoin. That is my full-time job. Unfortunately, the developers keep making new stuff, which I then have to explain all over again. So, for a moment, forget everything you think you know about Bitcoin. Forget everything you've heard about blockchain, and let's start from basics. In 2011, I heard about Bitcoin for the first time, and my reaction was exactly the same as the reaction of everybody else who heard about Bitcoin the first time, including its founder, and that reaction was, ha! Nerd money. That's probably just for gambling. Bitcoin is a protocol, and what better stage to talk about a protocol? And the moment you start talking about Bitcoin and thinking about Bitcoin, it brings up a very difficult question. What is money? And most of us, turns out, from all of the conversations I've had with thousands of people around the world, have no idea what money is or how it works. It's one of those technologies that is so deeply embedded in our culture that it has become completely invisible to us. In fact, we don't even need to think about money unless it stops working. Some countries, they realize that it stops working, and then everybody has interesting things to say about what money is. But what is money? At its very basic level, money isn't value. In fact, you use money to get things of value, products or services, but there is no value in the money itself. And money isn't a construct of authority. We seem to think that these days because all of our money comes from certain authoritative sources. You can start building completely new concepts for payments that we've never thought of before. Now, what happens when you combine, here's another interesting one. Bitcoin is the first financial system in history that doesn't require personhood for ownership of money. Every single financial system we have, at the end of the day, money is owned by either a person or a collection of people as a corporation. That is a fundamental truth. It's required by the legal system. Bitcoin doesn't care. You can be software and you can own money. Software can own money. Let me say that again. Software can own money. We don't know what that does, but let me give you just one example. Uber, Bitcoin, self-driving cars. Combine those three together and you have the self-owning taxi. A car that is a corporation that owns itself, pays for the car lease, the car insurance, and the gasoline from the revenues it makes, giving passengers a ride, and there's not a single human involved in that management. Now, that is a completely bizarre construct. It's one we can't even imagine.
Bitcoin's interesting, but I'm more interested in the technology behind Bitcoin, blockchains. These newfangled automobiles are interesting, but I'm more interested in the revolutionary technology behind automobiles, pneumatic inflatable tires. If we could combine pneumatic inflatable tires with the steady traditional propulsion mechanism of horses, we could really do something interesting. Ultimately, this technology is about people, right? Money is a social structure. And these blockchain systems, these networks, are social structures that technology enables, and therefore, people are important. Why do we use the term price discovery? Price discovery is used as a term in economics because of the assumption that everything that has some kind of value, right, has a price or exchange rate, which is not set by markets, but it is discovered by markets. So markets are a mechanism for finding out what the real value of something is.
Thank you all so much for watching this video. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe, and go ahead and let us know what you thought down in the comment section below.